everyone. Are you ready for today? Because today we're going to talk about love. Right, Timon?
Absolutely, T-Son.
Okay. So, I'm kind of a spiritual romantic and all in between. So, let's talk about love. I love to say that love is everything. And I love to believe it. Not only everything in life, everything in ourselves. Love is everything. We are love. Love is not just an emotion. Love is what we are made of. And love is all that is in progress in us. So what do we understand about love?
What do you mean, love is what we are made of?
Ah, that's the best part. A long time ago, your mom and your dad were supposed to be making love. So you're made of love. Right? And that's actually what happens. I love that expression, making love, because that's actually what we do all the time in our lives. We take this energy and we transform it and we shape it. We take love and we create all the lovable things that we have surrounding us. Love is the raw matter of the universe, the raw energy. In our past talk, we were talking about the mythology, an ancient mythology of us on the creation of the universe. As we understand, the universe is a creation. It's the creation that uses the creator to understand himself. So the creator loves his creation, and the creation loves the creator back. The experience of life.
Hector, you have broken up completely with what you're saying. I cannot hear your voice anymore.
Okay.
Now I hear an okay.
Okay. So let's go back to the kind of the beginning. Love is all the experiences we have in life. Love is the experience of creating and the experience of feeling feeling the creation in our life. That's more clear in the sound?
The sound is clear. Yes, I heard everything you said. I didn't understand it necessarily, but I heard it.
Okay. So let's start from the beginning. We all have different concepts of love, right? For most people, love is just an emotion. Love is something that you feel at some point, and sometimes you don't feel it. But what you feel is not necessarily what it is. You can feel things when you are aware of them, and you won't feel them when you are unaware. That doesn't mean that those things are not there, that those things are not happening. So, what if love is there all the time, but you only feel it when your belief system lets you feel it? When your belief system lets you understand that you are feeling love.
You said love is energy. Does that mean that all energy is love?
Yes.
Is energy love plus other things?
Okay. We have two things. We have the raw matter and we have the outcome of the raw matter. We have the energy provided by the creator and the energy with shape, with form, the energy of creation. Let's talk again about that mythology that we were talking the last time. The universe in the beginning in mythology is made by a couple, the divine couple, the man and his wife. This man is the creator, providing energy, providing love to his mate, to his creation. He loves her constantly. He provides energy constantly. She takes that energy into herself and shape it and create the universe, create the emotions in the universe, create the matter and all the changes of matter in the universe, creates all the spiritual experience, all the life experience, and creates all the thoughts. That comes back to the creator as information on how things are happening, on how he is developing. So it's like when you look at yourself in the mirror. When you look at yourself in the mirror, the image is not solid by itself, right? The image is just a reflection of light coming from you. You are the source of that expression. When you smile at yourself, when you love yourself in the image loves you back. Right?
Correct.
That's exactly the process in love. You love, and because you love, you can feel and see the reflection coming back at you. What happens when we are in love? When we are in love, we love to have that expression back. You look at that person you love, and she looks back at you, and you see your reflection in her eyes, or in his eyes in your case. When you look at that coming back at you, you see perfection. You see worshiping, you see admiration, you see all the things you love to see about yourself. You see yourself through the eyes of unconditionality, all the possibilities in you. That's the love you're receiving. But that love that you're receiving comes from you. You are the source of love. Let's talk about love experiences. Basically, you can experience love in 3 levels of perception. Those levels of perception depends on your consciousness, on how your awareness expands on love. The first stage of love perception is what you can call, or what I call, the selfish love. What is selfish love? Selfish love is like the way a baby loves his mom. When you have a small baby in your arms, that small baby needs you. He cannot provide himself. That baby depends on you to survive. That baby depends on you to get fed. That baby depends on you to get clean, to feel love, to feel warm, to feel everything. He's completely dependable. So he's selfish. He cannot feel the love coming from himself. He has to feel it from an outer source, you. What does the baby do? What does the baby do to get that love? He cries. He calls your attention in all the ways he can, so you can provide. Uh-huh. That is the first stage, when you don't understand love as yourself. When you understand love as something coming to you. When you're in that stage, you have to do things to earn love. You don't get love for free. You get love because you do something to get it back. Two of the ingredients you can find in love are respect and admiration. When you are feeling selfish in love, you need to do something to be respected. And you need to do something to earn appreciation. Otherwise, you won't feel it, you won't receive it. That's a very early stage in your awareness of love. Yes?
Even if it's sent to you, you won't receive it?
Okay, you will receive it from the outside. You won't find it as you being the source of it. When you are a baby, you are not conscious of the love coming from you. You are conscious of the love coming at you.
You don't think that babies are conscious of the love within themselves?
Well, babies are starting to develop consciousness in this dream. They don't have a mind. They are just learning how to perceive. So in the beginning, they cannot have a clear perception of the love in themselves because they don't have a frame to perceive it. Their awareness is just developing.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about someone who is not a baby. When you feel insecure about love, when you feel that you don't deserve someone's love, you feel that you have to do something to earn it because you don't understand yourself as the source that it's being reflected. It's like if you are it's like if you are in front of a mirror, but you are not conscious that it's a mirror. So you will see expressions coming at you, but you don't know how you make them happen. Actually, that happens with some people who has some brain damage, and it's complete. It's when you are unable to understand how things are being produced, you try to do it through an exchange. If I want you to love me, I have to do something to earn that love, right? I have to deserve it.
That depends upon how you feel about that.
Exactly. We are talking about not being able to understand love as yourself, as the source. Let's go a little, another step beyond to make it clearer. What happened with that baby when he started gaining control of himself and he started being self-aware? When he's 1 year old, 2 years old, he started being aware of himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once he gained that awareness, he starts perceiving himself as the source of love. So he becomes what you can call what you can say, I don't find the word in English. Uh, um, altruistic? Altruistic is English, right?
Altruistic, yes.
Okay. He becomes altruistic. He goes to the garden, he cuts a flower, and he gives it to you. And when you smile back, he feels the love that is coming from him through you. When he kisses you, when he hugs you, whenever he picks something from the ground and give it to you. He finds himself as the source because he's perceiving the reflection through you. In that stage, you only depend from the response to understand love as yourself. When I give love to you, and you give it back with a smile, with a hug, with something that I understand as love, I understand that love is coming from me. But let's think about something unusual. What will happen if that kid gives you a flower and you turn yourself angry and scream and say, "Stop picking garbage from the ground. I don't want your garbage"? What will happen with that boy? He will not understand what is happening. He will not understand what he's doing. He won't be able to understand that source of love anymore because you are sending a twisted message.
I'm sorry. When you say this, I imagine my cats that keep bringing in dead birds to me, and sometimes live ones. And even though I yell at them, they still keep bringing them back in.
They are in the third stage. They are in unconditional love.
Oh.
You cannot stop love when it's like that.
Okay.
What happens when you're altruistic? When you're altruistic, you can give respect to others because they deserve it. They can lose it, but you can give it in the beginning without asking questions. The same happens with admiration. You can admire someone, and then if they do something that it's not the right response that you're waiting for, then you will stop admiring at some point. Right? So it's just a step into the way of perceiving yourself as love. What happens when you understand that love has no condition? That love is something that happens all the time. You will understand that love is unconditional. When you see the news and they talk about someone who is on a death row, you can see people who at the same time that you're talking about a criminal, they love him. He has a mother who loves him, I hope. He has women or men or people who is perceiving love and giving love. Love is unconditional. Love is something that happens between everything and everyone. The only thing is not everyone is conscious of it. It depends on how you perceive it. It's like light. When you're in the middle of the night, it may seem extremely dark. That doesn't mean there is no light. It just means that you are not able to perceive it. But everything is light.
We want you to another body.
Even if you're not able to perceive it.
Today we're
I guess that's me on the French talk. That's love coming back at me, Timon.
Oh. Okay.
So
self-love?
Yes. When you understand yourself as the source, you understand that everything you do is an act of love. But sometimes it's not perceived as that, because it depends on the other people's frame. Imagine that when you grew up, they make you believe that love is flowers. So each time your lover arrives to you with flowers, you feel loved. If he doesn't arrive with flowers, you don't feel loved. If he arrives with chocolate, you say, okay, you're not loving me the right way.
Okay.
So, your perceptions of love are limited by your belief system. When you perceive love only when it's the right place, the right time, the right people, with the right intentions, then you will notice why most people feel a scarcity of love. In that scarcity of love, you will notice that some develop a selfish way of loving because they develop a hunger. When you develop a hunger, you try to do things to be loved, to get attention, to get appreciation. You want that reflect back at you. In a society where love is limited by a belief system, a lot of distortions happen. Now, that source of love comes in many ways. It's the same as we were talking in a kid. When you see a small kid, the small kid is pure love. He has not a belief system. He's just living love at large. He's angry at you, he screams. Then he comes to you, he comes back at you and hugs you and say, I love you. You are the person that I love most in this life. And he's telling the truth. Because in his present, you are the biggest love of them all. Because he understands love as a flow. When you see that kid and you ask that kid, do you love yourself? What would the kid answer? Yes, of course. Are you beautiful? Yes, of course. Because he doesn't have a belief that he's not beautiful. If you say a kid who is young enough, are you perfect? What will he answer? Yes. When love is unconditional, everything is perfect because there are no conditions. When love is unconditional, everything is beautiful because there are no conditions. Let's talk about the essence of the universe. The essence of the universe is perfection. What's the purpose of existence in the universe? The purpose of existence is existing. It's simple.
Allô? Oui. Allô, Marlène?
If you
Allô?
If
Oui.
you understand yourself,
Je vais prendre la... Non, je ne l'ai pas vue, elle m'a pas... J'arrive pas à la joindre.
that's the good thing about about
Ah
life.
oui, je suis là, oui. Donc du coup, mais je vais prendre la rediffusion parce que comme c'est comme de l'anglais, j'arrive pas à suivre.
C'est impossible.
Ben, en fait, il faut cliquer sur son lien normalement. Et quand tu cliques dans le lien, tu arrives dans la conversation. Parce que j'ai même réussi.
Oui. Je pense que
Ah ouais, je vais raccrocher. Attends 2 minutes.
Non, s'écoute pas. Nous sommes ici, ouais. Oops.
I
Okay.
think he got a phone call.
Yeah. It was from Marlene who was unable to connect.
Was it from Marlene?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
I was hoping to hear from Marlene today and to see her on here. That would have been wonderful. By the way, speaking of that, I got an email from Cynthia saying that she was going to a group that does does bells or singing bowls.
Yes.
And that's the time I think they do that normally. So she's going to talk to some of them and see if they want to join us sometime. But for tonight, she wasn't going to be here.
Okay. Charlene says that if we could translate, but I don't understand if maybe my English is not clear.
Oh, somebody was speaking to wait in French,
Ah, d'accord. Oh,
right? And whatever he
right.
was talking to wait about had nothing to do with any of this.
Yes, it was just a phone call. Okay, so let's go back to love.
Okay, love.
So where were we?
Well,
When
go ahead.
uh, yes? Okay. A lot of people ask themselves about the meaning of life, about the purpose of life. A lot of people think about what should I do in my life? What's my mission?
Mm-hmm.
That's something extremely simple, extremely easy. If you understand that the life force is projecting all the life forms it can to perceive. Let's talk about the tale we were talking the last time, so Charlene gets into the context. We were talking about an Indian mythology that talks about the god of creation. I will tell you the story in the way I like to give it shape. There is this god who calls his wife and says, invent me a game because I'm bored. The wife, a beautiful Indian wife, goes to the back room and comes with a surprise on her back. She has all her arms on the back. She gets close to the husband. She transforms the husband into a mirror. And then she takes out all the arms with the sword in each arm. And she starts tearing the mirror in pieces, millions of small pieces. Then she takes the small mirrors. She throws all those mirrors and scatters them all over the world, all over the creation, all over the universe. And she says, the game is find yourself and reunite yourself again. Since that day, that God is wandering around in small glass pieces. Each piece wanders around and gets reflection of light into itself. Through that experience, through the reflections, at some point, some pieces understand, I am God. I am a part of God. God lives through me. Then they look around and then they see another piece. And they say, you are me. You are God. We are one. Why do I like to picture it as small mirror pieces? Because when you have a small mirror piece moving around, each mirror piece gets into himself reflections of the surroundings, of the experience of himself. Through that light coming at him, at some point he understands, I am God. What's the purpose of creation? To get experience through existence. What experience? It doesn't matter. Any experience is good because it develops consciousness. In time, in a universe that it's eternal, you will develop consciousness at some point. Each one of your molecules, each one of your cells, each one of your components will become aware as you become aware. So, life and the universe is perfect because in an eternity, everything will become aware of itself. Each small piece of mirror, it doesn't matter what experiences, will become aware. So, your mission in life as a life vessel, as a divine vessel of God, or a goddess if you want to, is accomplished just by your experience. Any experience. Painful experiences, good experiences, laughing experiences, love experiences, all the experiences. When you understand that to produce those experiences, each piece is unique. Each small piece of glass has a different shape. It's in a different place, so it will have a unique experience. In this universe, you are one of a kind. No one is like you. No one. No one will ever be like you. Not even yourself. Because you are changing all the time. You are having new experiences. You are not able to be like you used to be. You are a present moment changing all the time. That's perfect. And that's the almost it's the utmost beauty. That's the right word.
Say the word again.
Utmost.
Ultimate.
Ultimate. You're the ultimate beauty in your universe. Why? Because there's no one like you.
Of course
That's
not.
beautiful.
So our purpose in life is to experience life.
Exactly. It's easy.
So it's our choice whether we experience it with joy or anger or fear or frustration or sadness or our choice.
It's your choice.
Our choice.
When you understand yourself as the creator, you understand that it's your choice how you feel. You are creating circumstances around you. Even if you are conscient or not, you are creating them by the place you... Let's talk about those mirrors. If those mirrors are moving, they are reflecting something in them. If they reflect pain, if they reflect sorrow, if they reflect a nasty place, it's because they put themselves into that place, knowingly or unknowingly. When you get out of your home and it rains, you can say, okay, I was not prepared for this. Well, you were not prepared, but you put yourself in that position. You're responsible for the experience. It's your creation. What do you feel? It's your choice. You can feel angry or you can laugh because you are wet. You can judge yourself and say, oh, I should have paid attention, or you can just enjoy the moment and dance in the rain. Or take a shower. You have choices. So, when you understand yourself as the creator, having an experience through you, you understand that love and that source. God loves you because through you, he can feel himself. Watch your hand for a minute. Look at that lovely hand. Exactly. Each time you touch something, you get the experience of touching, of feeling. And that's thanks to you, that's because you have that hand. That's the wonderful experience that you can have. Because you have your eyes, you can see all this light coming at you and taking shapes, having the shape of my face, having the shape of everything around you. It's love, love in progress. God loves all the emotion that comes through you. So you are love. He made you of love to have the experience of loving himself. Let's talk about the perfect lover. There is this male, this divine male. Let's call him Ometekutli.
Just call him that. Fine.
Yes. Okay. Let's make it simple. Let's say from the divine couple, the divine man. Actually, that's what it means. And his wife, from the divine couple, the divine woman.
Okay.
Okay? So he's his lover. He talks to her gently. He says, I love you. You are beautiful. Come to me. Let me make love to you all the time in all the forms I can. She feels love. She hears his love. She can hear all the words that comes from her lover. And because she feels love, she expresses love back. Because she's the perfect reflection. She's the creator, the creation. He's the creator, loving each other. Now, what happens when a couple is making love all the time? They get pregnant. So, she gets pregnant. Because she's pregnant with 4, she's having the experience of getting trapped into creation. She's running around kids all the time. She's doing all the groceries. She's doing all the food. She's doing everything. His lover is still there. It's talking to her all the time. But sometimes she cannot hear it because she's lost in her dream, in her creation. At some point, she will listen to her lover again, just as a whisper between the screams of the kids. Eventually, she becomes conscious that her lover has been there all the time. She looks at him and she comes back at him. Now, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Feel the warmth that comes through your breathing inside all your body. All the pleasure that comes from that vibration of life. Through that warmth, you will perceive a vibration. That vibration of life, it's your heartbeat. Your heart in your chest, talking at you with the voice of life all the time, saying, I love you. I'm here. I'm life. I'm providing you with the energy so you can have the experience of your wonderful life. I am God, beating, talking to you inside the beautiful temple of your body. That wonderful body, that wonderful lover that responds to you no matter what, that loves you unconditionally. That's the voice of the lover inside each one, the voice of life. Your perfect lover, expressing through yourself. And when you feel love by your heart, each time, each moment, and you look at someone else, you will see love on that person. And you will fall in love with that person. And when you see a tree, you will fall in love with a tree. And when you see your house, your cat, your car, you will fall in love with your car, with your house, with all your life experience. It's love in action. Perfect, never ending, always changing love. That's who we all are, even if we don't recognize it. It just takes a moment of silence to go back to it each time, each morning, any place, anywhere, anytime. It's easy. That's what falling in love with yourself, with myself, with everything means. You know what is really funny? The fake sense of humility we have learned. When we say, I'm the last one on the row, I'm the lesser of God's children, I'm the less valuable of everyone. That's not humility. That's the opposite. He's saying, look at me, I'm at the end of the row. You know what true humility is? Everyone is perfect. Everyone has the same value for the universe. So you don't need to be compared to anyone. Everyone has the same value. That's humility. Everything is wonderful. That's humility. It's Jesus looking at each one of the thieves and saying, you are the best thieves of creation. You are the best partners I can have to go to heaven. Each one of us is a masterpiece. When you look at all the wonderful things that NASA does, they put together this, how it's called in English. In Spanish is sonda, maybe sond. The Viking and all those crafts they send to the corners of the solar system just to watch, to perceive how is Mars, how is Saturn, how is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's wonderful just to get a glimpse of all those worlds. Now look at yourself, because you are that. You are the perfect sensor's vehicle for God to experience life. So each time you eat something, you touch something, or you look at something, you are providing that experience to yourself and to the God in yourself. And because we all are linked, you are providing that experience to all of us, to each one of us. It's wonderful. It's love moving through all of us. When you understand that perfection of ever changing, you understand that each time you wake up, you are living the utmost lover fantasy. Each time you wake up, you are waking up with someone different, with a different lover. Because you are not the same, you are different. Each morning, you are aimed to discover yourself, to discover you again. Now, if you have the luck to awaken with someone else besides yourself, to have a threesome in a twosome, it's wonderful because you can discover someone else too. You may look at that person that you call your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, that has been there for 5 years, 10 years, 100 years. It doesn't matter. He may think he's still the same. He may think he knows himself and he knows yourself. But you know what? He doesn't. You are there to discover himself, yourself, and life as new. The perfect love. We are perfect strangers all the time. Because we don't know ourselves. We discover ourselves. We are the biggest mystery in this universe. This universe is our universe, my universe, your universe. You are the biggest mystery. Yesterday, when you were 1 year old, you were discover how to move your legs to run from one place to the other and not to fall 5 or 6 times in 2 or 3 meters. That's what you were discovering at that time. Now you can discover yourself as a dancer. You can discover yourself as a walker. You can discover yourself as driving, or just as having someone massaging your feet or your legs. You are there to discover yourself in all the ways you can. A few years ago, I had the wonderful experience of discovering Helen, of discovering you, Timam, going in a small boat, almost falling into the water, just to hug a whale.
Absolutely.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful because it was beyond yourself. Before taking that boat, you didn't even knew you were capable of all those things. Now you know. Now you know that you are capable of so many more things. Because you are living yourself each day, you are discovering yourself each day. So that's the miracle of life, that's the miracle of ourselves. That's the lover in ourselves. That's the passion in ourselves. When I hear a couple that says, no, we have been together for 5 years, 10 years, 1,000 years, so passion is not there as it used to be. Of course it's not there, because you are not perfect strangers anymore. Become perfect strangers again, and passion will be there again. It's easy. Of course, bodies change, but passion takes different shapes. Maybe in the beginning, passion was horniness. That's the right word?
For you, yes.
But that passion evolves in so many ways. When I wake up next to the woman I love, and I look at her and I look at the sunrise coming from the window and projecting different shines on her, I fall in love with a new woman, that woman that is next to me. And that's passion. When I feel myself, I am passionate about myself, about discovering myself. What new crazy stuff am I going to do today? Okay, let's do some crazy talks on Hangouts. Okay, let's do them. Let's see what's next. Let's fall back in love with ourselves, consciently, and with everyone around. And of course, if we have a special someone, of course we have many special someones. Each relationship is as ourselves, unique. So each, like this is something most mothers know, but they don't want their kids to know. Each kid is being loved differently. I'm not talking more or less. I'm just talking differently.
One of the things that I noticed when I had my children, the more children I had, the more I recognized the uniqueness and the specialness of each child. When I had one child, it was a kid. When I had two, they started being so different that I was able to just love the differences. And the more children I had, the more the differences were evident, and it made all of them so beautifully unique.
Exactly. So each relationship is different. You cannot compare each one with you. You just love one in a way and the other in a different way. It's the biggest way you can. What happens with the experience of love when you are healthy? When you are healthy, you don't have preconceptions about love. You can discover yourself. You can discover everything. When you don't have preconceptions, each day is an adventure. What happens when you have something conceived? When you look at yourself and say, okay, this is the same me, but I have more gray hairs. Well, you start comparing yourself, you have a frame, and then love is not flowing the same way. And passion, of course, gets a cold bucket of water. Of course. So the problem is using a frame for love that it's infinite. What's the origin of passion? Let's picture a couple who they met for the first time and they feel this passion, they feel this heat. Actually, they are feeling the voice of the universe saying, I want you to make me a new me. Go for it. It's so intense. It's such a big power that can conceive life. Now imagine this. That couple says, okay, we're not going to make a kid today, but we're going to use this huge energy that is able to produce a kid. What are we going to do with it? We are going to fall in love. We are going to create all the possibilities of life we can. What happens with the brain of someone who is in love? It's wonderful. Thousands of lights come on. Both sides of the brain are working at the fastest speed they can. The left side and the right side finally they get together and speak to each other. The left side says, okay, let's see all the possibilities on the future and on the past. I feel like I have known you for all my life, and I feel that I can be together with you no matter what. Let's talk about the other side, the right side. He says, I am you and you are me. We are just one. I can feel you in my body and you can feel me in your body. We are just one. We cannot be apart. Let's get together in a hug and never become separated again. So that's the energy of life flowing through both of them. They are discovering themselves. They don't know each other. They are just starting. After a few years, they say, okay, I know you. I know what you like, what you don't like. I know what I should do, what I shouldn't do. Well, each time you know that person, passion becomes less stronger. That life force is projected in so many different images of what should be, what shouldn't be, that it becomes so complicated to be projected. So let's keep love simple through that passion, not only through another one. Actually, when you fall in love with someone, it's a miracle in your life, because you get a clear mirror in front of you that says, you are perfect, you are all, you are everything. Don't change anything, you are perfect like that. Do you think I'm fat? No, 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 you are perfect like that. Do you think I'm old? No, no, you're perfect like that. Do you think I'm too white? No, it's perfect like that. What do you think about this dress? With dress or without a dress, you're perfect like that. Life is giving us a clear mirror to love ourselves. That person is saying, you are perfect, you are wonderful. Do you believe him? Maybe you want to. Maybe you wish to. Can you? Because if you can, you will fall in love with yourself and with that other person. If you can't, eventually your judgments will say, he said that because he loves me. He said that because he wants sex. He says that because he has to. Instead of saying it's fair, he says that because that's who I am. If we take that opportunity, love, passion, everything is forever. If we don't take that opportunity, well, we have to take the long road home, the long way home. But anyway, it's life giving you the opportunity to recognize that divine in yourself. That divine process of creating yourself and creating everything around you. Let's finish this talk with one more story. Do you know the story about the androgynes?
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, this is a story that Plato talked to someone and they wrote it down in the dialogues that are called the Republic.
Okay.
I love that story. The story starts talking about the gods and which is the god that should be considered the biggest god of all the Greek gods.
Okay.
And someone says, the biggest god of them all is Eros, the god of love, because he gives us the opportunity to get into the highest places in our consciousness, the highest happiness, the highest fulfillment. That's the best state of the human.
Mm-hmm.
Then they explain a story about some beings that are called androgynes. Androgynes are perfect. They are complete. They have 4 legs, 4 arms, 2 chests, 2 faces, and they are fused one half with the other. They are completely round and complete. They are so perfect that they feel themselves full. They don't need to do crazy things to appreciate themselves. They just do. Then the gods, the Greek gods, you know how the Greek gods are. They are jealous. They are mistrustful. They have all these characteristics. So they look
Human
at
characteristics. Yes.
how
Oops.
perfect they are.
You have broken up again. Your picture is
Demos.
frozen and the voice is gone.
Okay, sorry. Am I back? Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So when the Greek gods see those perfect beings, they become afraid. They say if they realize how perfect they are, they may want to become gods, and then they will kick us out of the Olympus, and we are gone. One of them, Zeus, comes with a solution. He comes with all his thunders and lightnings, and he throws lightnings to all of them and split them in half. Since that day, each half is wandering the world trying to get the other half. If they do, they get together and they fuse and they feel complete again. So, when we are with that beloved one that makes us feel complete, he's helping us understand that we already are. Hear that voice inside your chest, pumping and saying many times each minute, I love you. I provide life to you, no matter who you are, no matter what you do. I will be here until the end of my time in perfect love. We are fulfilled. We are the male energy and the female energy together. We are the creator embracing his creation. Look at yourself in the mirror. When you see that image, that perfect body that responds to you, that has been created through you, through all your decisions, through all your actions, through all your emotions, through all the things you have thought, and keeps a memory of them. And does that body that does is best to please you all the time. Look at that perfection. It's a perfect sculpture that is not ended yet. Because each time you eat something, each time you feel something, each time you wonder something, your body is being created by you. Look at your emotional flow. Those beautiful rainbow colors of sadness and happiness and all the things that we feel and all the mixtures. It's a wonderful creation, a wonderful experience. Look at that wonderful mind we have. That we keep developing it until it becomes the perfect servant, until it creates what you want that mind to create. And then you have to change it because your present is different. So you have to develop a different mind. All the time. Creating wonderful stories, creating wonderful words, wonderful dreams for you. Isn't it perfect? Isn't it fulfilled?
Absolutely.
So that's where we get lost sometimes, because we forget. But we can remember, because we have this voice inside that remembers and talks all the time in an almost silent way. All the time. Each breath you take, it's life being given to you. And each time you breathe out, it's yourself giving something from you back to life. It's communicating love. So let's take a deep breath one more time together before stopping this transmission until the next one. There is one ancient way of saying goodbye in the ancient traditions here in Mexico that I love very much, that says, may you always be resting in your presence. May you always be present in yourself. May you always be aware of who you are and be present on that. So let's keep reminding us who we are and keep loving ourselves and loving all that we do. Love you, Timam.
Yep.
Love you, Charlene, and thank you for being here.